are the New York Knicks. I'm back, rocking in New York. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks taking no shorts just like winter. New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, welcome to the New York Knicks podcast, part of the Lineups Podcast Network at lineups.com, the Big Heads Media Network at bigheadsmedia.com, Dash Radio, and our sponsor, Ticket Club. Go to the New York Knicks podcast.com/Ticket Club and use NYKP for $20 off an annual membership and get the best ticket prices out there. This is episode 489. And
It's 489 how many minutes this goddamn intro takes?
I'm getting there. I'm going to join two more networks at the beginning of the year just to drive you crazy.
Holy shit.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So there's actually a few things going on in Knicks world right now.
Like they are on fire. They're winning games. They're playing great. Aren't they, what are they, 5-7 now under Miller?
5-6 or 5-7, yeah.
Yeah. So they, with Fizz, they were 4, when he got fired, were they 4-18, 4-20, 4-22?
I think they were 4-18, so that means they're 5-6 under Miller.
I mean, what a goddamn difference. It is the team. So, there's been 3 games this week. They lost to the Wizards earlier in the week, which kind of sucked. But they've since then, Jay and I, we talked. We said we would only do a show. We were going to take off for the rest of the year, and we'd only do a show if the Knicks beat the Nets and the Wizards. And Jay said, "Sounds good. I will see you next year. There's no chance in hell we're doing another show this year." And we're back.
So happy to be back.
So happy to be back. The Knicks beat the Nets, and they beat the Wizards. The Knicks, the Mike Miller New York Knicks are so much better than the Fizdale Knicks. So many coaches defended Fizdale. So many guys, Greg Popovich, Carlisle, every goddamn coach out there was like, it's awful the Knicks fired Fizdale. They said, like, it's not his fault. The team just sucks. No one could win with the level of talent they have. And Mike Miller said, hang on, I can win with this squad.
Yeah, he has Elfrid Payton, but Payton's not that good to completely turn a team around like this.
Mike Miller, Julius Randle is a different player with Mike Miller versus Fizdale.
I've been saying all season that Randle's better than he's been playing.
He's been getting so much crap from fans. If you just look at the Randle, since Mike Miller took over, we like this Randle. He's been playing well. This is the guy we signed in free agency. This is what you wanted. Last 3 games, he scored over 30 points a game. The guy gets us buckets. He may not be the best defender in the world, but he's not that awful either. He's not a good defender, but he's not the worst defender ever. But he's offense,
he's no Cantor.
He's no Cantor. But on offense, the dude can get us buckets. And he's been passing the ball. And the best thing is he has not been dribbling nonstop. The dribbling was awful. Running the offense through him made no sense.
Yeah.
I like Coach Mike Miller. Should we extend him right now?
Let's give him a 5-year contract.
I would say if the season continues like this, let's say, how many games left?
Too many, like 50.
What do you say?
I said too many. There's like 50 games.
I don't know. If he coaches well the rest of the year, if the Knicks win a reasonable number of games the rest of the season, you have to give Mike Miller another season.
Yeah, I would think.
What were you going to say?
I would think so. There is some interesting things going on with this team, though. So the rumor has it that a number of players want to get traded.
Yeah. There are 16 guys that rose their hand and said, please get me the hell out of here.
So the most likely candidates are Portis, Trier, and Smith.
So what about Morris?
If you had to include a fourth, it would be Morris. But Morris is
you're saying most likely candidate who said they want out of here, or most likely candidate to be traded?
That they want out of here.
Okay, because Morris is the most likely guy to be traded of everyone.
Right. No, but the other 3 are probably the ones that said they wanted out.
I mean, should we be surprised that guys want out? I mean, in the sense of a lot of players in this team signed 1 year or 1 year plus deals, which in some ways you would expect they like if things weren't working out immediately, they'd want out.
Well, Portis is kind of dumb because he knew the Knicks signed all those other forwards and then signed his contract. So it's no surprise he's not getting enough minutes.
Yeah, that's totally true. I think everyone thought that they'd come to a bad team and get to showcase their skills, and even Portis thought they signed everyone else, but you still feel like it's a bad team. I'll get mine.
Yeah, well, he's dumb then.
Not everyone has realistic expectations, and they just look at this as a chance that like I will get my minutes, I'll get my points. His plan probably was not that he'd come to the Knicks and be a Knick forever. His plan was like, I'll be so good as a Knick, then I'll go somewhere else and get a big contract.
Yeah, I mean, at Trier, I could see being disappointed. They really only got like Ellington and Bullock, and Bullock's been out all season, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade Trier. I understand Trier being unhappy because the Knicks have not given him much of a chance. Actually, Miller put him in late in the game, in the Washington game, which I felt a little odd because he'd been so rusty and you needed like you needed a lot out of him at that point in the game, and he really didn't deliver. But it was also a kind of an unfair situation for him, having not played that much.
Well, not only not playing that much, you sit for like 2 hours, and then it's like, all right, go save the day.
Right. I think it's an odd thing for the Knicks to do. The guy was the Knicks were so excited about him last year, and to bail on him this early seems kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I would not. Of those guys, the guy I would be least likely. We haven't signed for the next year. Why get rid of Trier?
Right. Smith, on the other hand, he has been completely outplayed by everyone on the team. So
the thing with Smith is that they do say he has injury issues, and that's hurt his. I mean, he's had obviously the death in the family, and he's had injury issues. His back, I think he has a shoulder injury. All these things have really hurt have hurt his game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think he's as bad as he's been playing.
I don't either, but I also don't think, like, if he's completely healthy, what is he going to do? He's still a complete mess on defense, and he's a streaky shooter, so he doesn't really provide what the Knicks need.
Well, I think a smart thing to do is like look at you have 3-point guards, choose 2, and then bring in. I mean, you should have. It's not a bad idea having 3-point guards on the roster, but like the other point guard, it can be more of a backup. The other point guard, you shouldn't have 2 guys that guys that are going to demand minutes. Dennis Smith wants minutes. Choose between Dennis Smith, Alfred Payton, and Frank, and decide 2 of those guys will get the major minutes.
Well, I think that's what happened.
Yeah, no, the Knicks clearly look better when Dennis Smith does not play. Any concern that he will go elsewhere and look better?
Of course he'll look better, but I don't think we'll
regret it, basically.
I don't think we're going to be here 2 years from now saying, oh, I should have held on to him.
So what kind of return? So first of all, I saw something someone post. I think Knicks Film School posted that it was let me find the quote. On the trade front, an NBA. This is Jonathan Macri posted this on Twitter. On the trade front, an NBA personnel source confirms the Knicks are trying to accommodate Dennis Smith Jr. and send him somewhere he'll have a real opportunity.
The G League.
Yes, that's where you'll have an opportunity. That's the only place you'll have an opportunity. Why they have not sent him to the G League already is insane. Like, give him a chance to really get run in the G League. But
they sent Iggy there. He got 27 points last night.
Playing well. Why let him play in real games? Dennis Smith. Why are they trying to accommodate him though?
Because of all he's done for this franchise.
Yes, he's been here for Carmelo, they were a complete jerk to. But Dennis Smith, God forbid we don't do it right with him.
Right. Got to do him a solid.
How about we accommodate Dennis Smith by getting whatever we can for him, and if we send him to Siberia and get draft picks from Siberia, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I hate the idea the Knicks will accommodate anyone. Like the counters is if we don't accommodate him, then the Knicks will not look a good team for potential free agents. Well, no one's coming here, so who gives a crap what we do with the players? Anyway, Dennis Smith, what can we get for him?
Not much. I would say
is he signed through next year also?
Yeah, he's on a rookie contract, so maybe 2 seconds, maybe another player who's disgruntled and also on a rookie contract.
Yeah, I would say that's maybe we could trade him back for KP. Do you think we could trade him back and get Timmy Hardaway back here? He's playing pretty well for Dallas.
Hardaway, Lee, and Porzingis. Give him
Yeah,
Smith
see if we
and
get
2
all
draft
three.
picks. Can you imagine how hard Dallas would laugh if that offer was in reverse? Yet the Knicks did it.
I'm saying you want to give us 2 late first-round picks and Dennis Smith Jr. We're going to give you 2 of our starters in KP and Timmy Hardaway.
And a solid backup.
Yeah, what are you, insane? Anyway, I think Dennis Smith, if you got 2 second-round picks, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
2 second-round picks or, late first would be dreaming. And I like what you said, the idea of another disgruntled player that could also use a change of scenery, that maybe plays a different position. Or plays his position, who cares?
Yeah.
So I saw this. I don't want to bash Frank too much, but I just saw someone wrote this up, and I thought this was interesting. They were talking about there's a comment from Posting and Toasting, and they were talking about everyone goes on about how great of a defender Frank is. And so the guy wrote, so I'll read from it. ESPN's defensive real plus minus, generally the higher the score, the better. Frank's score is .98. 108th in the NBA, which indicates a positive impact on defensive end. For context, however, Frank rates behind guards such as Will Barton, Patrick Beverley, Dennis Schroeder, Jamal Murray, Ricky Rubio, and Devontae Graham. Field goal percentage differential. A negative score here indicates that the defender is holding the player he's guarding below his sorry. Sorry. The player guards. Anyway, he trying to find where I'm reading. Sorry. Frank is a negative 0.6. That means that the Knicks are better defensively and Frank is off the floor. To be fair, the statistic produces somewhere confounding results. For instance, Patrick Beverley's rating is a negative 1.8, so take it as a grain of salt. And finally, on pick and roll defense, Frank's claim to being an elite defender in his rookie season was his pick and roll defense, where he allowed 0.65 points per possession, 90th percentile, an elite number by any standard. However, in his sophomore season, the number dropped to 0.83, 65th percentile, still an above average number. However, what about this season? Frank is now allowing 0.88 points per possession, 46th percentile, meaning Frank is now a below average pick and roll defender. All in all, I'm just saying that if you look at the stats on his defense no longer looks as elite as it used to look.
That's great.
And I don't want Frank he looked okay. He looked decent. He looked pretty good actually in the second Wizard game. He looked better than Peyton looked the other night. But I assume like you, I would go Peyton as the starter and Frank gets the rest of the minutes, and those are the 2 point guards going forward.
Sorry, Smith.
And if anything, I'd give Kadeem Allen some minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I would also go like our third point guard should be a Kadeem Allen or another guy from the G League who's just like if they can earn the minutes, they get the minutes and they can take someone else out.
Yep.
So it's Trier, Portis. What do you think we get for Portis?
It's so hard because of that $15 million contract.
He looked pretty good against the Wizards. The second Wizards game.
Yeah, but he doesn't look like a $15 million player. I mean, I know it's an expiring, but with the
that's why these contracts are stupid. If the Knicks are not willing to take back salary, then it's hard to trade any of these players.
It is.
You have to get another team that has both a need for the player and an expiring contract.
All right, so it's been said that Towns is now disgruntled. And
okay, before we even get here, just one quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Morris, what do you take for Morris?
Morris, I think, is worth a first rounder.
Absolutely. Do you buy into the idea that Morris is playing so well, the Knicks would benefit the Knicks just to keep him the rest of the season, so the Knicks play better the rest of the season?
No. What's the point? So the Knicks get a crappy draft pick?
Okay, and then what if a team says, "I'll give you a first rounder for Julius Randle"? Julius Randle is we have him for potentially 2 more seasons after this. He's 24 years old, so he's still pretty young. He's younger than Damian Dotson.
I would say it would have to be a really bad team, so it's a high draft pick.
He's 25. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm not taking like anything that isn't top 10.
Do you want not top 10? So you wouldn't take like even like the 15th pick in the draft?
No.
Or what if it's like 2 first rounders, like but both late first rounders?
No, because I mean the odds of getting somebody of Randall's talent at 15 is pretty slim.
So you want more for Randall than you'd want for Morris?
Yes.
You value Randall over Morris right now.
I just think that when you're making a trade, it's easier to sell other teams on a 25-year-old putting up these numbers than a 30-year-old.
Fair enough. Okay, so go into so Towns.
So Towns apparently is disgruntled, and so of course,
why do we think this?
There's been multiple sources that have said that.
Okay.
So,
and Minnesota's pretty bad with him.
Yeah,
and they have a much better roster than us.
So, well, yeah, that's what I was getting to. So, of course, when any player ever is disgruntled, the Knicks rumors show up. So
yeah,
now there's rumors that
the rumor is the Knicks are monitoring him along with the rest of the NBA.
Right. So there's a lot of people saying he's a generational talent, and you do whatever it takes to get him, trade draft picks, whatever. My argument is that they're one of the worst teams in the West with him. So is he a generational talent, or is he a good numbers on a bad team guy? Because his defense looks really, really bad. And is he just like a really good offensive player, but so bad on defense that it causes you problems? Like, what would you be willing? Would you trade first rounders to get Towns?
I mean, in theory, you should. You could. So if you didn't trade Mitchell Robinson, you pair him with Mitchell Robinson. That'd be really interesting to have those two guys together. He's
right.
24. He's 24. He's basically almost the same age as Julius Randle.
I don't think there's any way you are trading for him without giving up Robinson.
Well, if you're trading up Barrett, maybe you're not. But who would you rather? If you could keep one of the two, would you rather keep Barrett or Robinson? Well, actually, rank these as untouchables.
Okay.
Barrett, Robinson, the 2020 first round pick.
Ooh.
By the way, I was listening to some draft analysis, and apparently this draft is going to be a weaker draft, but there'll be a number of pretty good point guards, not like star level players, but pretty good point guards in the top like 7 or 8. The Knicks should be able to draft a point guard if that's what they need. They should be. Should the Knicks draft a point guard, Jay?
Yeah.
You go best player available. You go point guard.
Always go best player available.
I'm going point guard. I think point guard is such a dire need. Unless the Knicks get the number 1 pick, I can go point guard.
So I would rank it draft pick Barrett Robinson.
So we still are like the draft pick, because the draft pick could be anything. It could be a Hall of Famer. We have a better sense of what Barrett. It's the unknown. The unknown is still more exciting.
Well, it's not that it's more exciting. It could be somebody really good. I think the guys on the team are good, but I don't think they're superstars. You never know in the draft. It could be a superstar, but I'm not, head over heels in love with either of these guys. I like them. I think they're fine, but I would rather have a top 5 pick.
Yeah, fair. So Towns' offensive rating is 123, and his defense rating is 107. So he's a plus 16 when on the court. So maybe it's the other guys, not him.
Maybe. I don't like those advanced stats.
It's always hard to know what they really mean. Yeah. He is playing. I mean, his numbers are great. He's shooting. Wow, I didn't realize he's shooting 8 threes a game.
Yeah,
that's crazy. He's shooting 41% on 8 threes a game. That is insane. He's scoring 26 points a game, 11 rebounds, almost 4.5 assists. He's even getting a block. He's putting up ridiculous numbers.
He is.
He's super athletic. I would give up the 2020 draft first round pick to get him. I would give up. I guess would he give up 2 of those 3, the first round pick and Robinson and Barrett? In some ways, the Knicks should be willing to do that. But your question is, I mean, Kevin Garnett was on Minnesota, put up huge numbers for all those years. Turned out when he went to a good team, he actually was still a really good player.
That is true.
Kevin Love, also in Minnesota, because no one stays in Minnesota, was putting up great numbers, came to Cleveland, still putting up really good numbers there. His defense was a little more suspect, but his offense was just as good as it was in Minnesota.
So you would go all in.
I don't know. Well, first of all, they're never making this trade.
Right.
Other teams can give up more. There is no way this is ever happening. Why would Minnesota give up on? Don't they already have him signed on a giant contract?
Yeah, his extension didn't even kick in yet.
Yeah. So when he's like, "I'm disgruntled," then don't cash your paycheck, jackass.
Right.
No, I'm good. I know players can force their way out, but he's not going to force his way to New York. None of this crap is going to happen. Stop waiting for the Messiah. It's not going to happen until the Knicks figure out how to be a good team. It's insane for the Knicks to go all in, to try to even think about this, because it's not happening. This is the KD stuff again.
Well, I'm just thinking, what does it do? Like, now you have Towns and nothing.
Well, you don't have Wiggins, so that helps.
That helps, but I mean, like, Towns alone isn't going to do it. And then if you trade a draft pick, like, there's no reinforcements coming.
Well, if it was Towns and Barrett, you'd be like, okay, we can build around two guys.
Yeah, but then if you trade away the draft pick, that's it. That's your team.
Yeah, and then you're bad again. You get another draft pick. You try to sign other guys. The Knicks should also be trying to find guys in the G League. They're looking everywhere. They should be looking in goddamn every country on the earth to find players at this point. But
they should just hire a tail for whoever the scout is in Miami. Wouldn't that be worth money? Just trail whoever the scout is.
Kidnap his family, make him give us all the insight he has. So I wouldn't go. I think this is pointless to think about since it's not happening. But yeah, I trade a lot to get Towns. I think giving up the first pick in this draft, and either Mitchell Robinson or Barrett, not both, would be reasonable. I'm not giving 2 first-round picks to get him. I'm not going to give an insane amount of players, but what's the package? Give me a package.
There's a rumor that they are interested in Smith.
Yes. Okay, Dennis Smith for Towns, straight up. I don't know. Smith has been pretty good on the court. Maybe they can throw in a draft pick.
So what do you think of this trade?
Okay.
Knicks get Towns.
Okay.
They get Vonleh back. And Trayvon Graham.
I imagine those two guys are just to make the trade work on ESPN.
Yes, it is. And the Knicks give up one player from each position. So they give up...
This just sounds ridiculous.
They give up Smith Jr.
Fine.
Trier. Knox.
Do you want our garbage? It's on fire.
No, it gets better. Knox.
We shit in a bag and we're gonna send it to you. How do you like that?
Knox, Morris, and Robinson.
Come on, Jeff. And no draft pick?
No draft pick. 5 guys.
Okay, let's go over this again. Dennis Smith, who they're
interested in, so you have to spin it that way.
Okay. I am going to say if they pull this trade, if Dennis Smith and the Knicks are kind of ready, are out on playing currently. Alonzo Trier, who can barely crack the rotation. Who else? Knox,
you could sell that.
Yeah. Hey, do you want our bust? We're sending you a series of busts. Morris, whose contract is up after this season, playing well, but contract up after this season. And Mitchell Robinson, that was the last one?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're basically giving you Mitchell Robinson for Towns.
They're interested in Smith.
If the Knicks can pull this off, all is forgiven, Mills. You can keep your job. Sure. So, Jay, it sounds like a great idea. Why don't you get them to throw in a draft pick, like a first-round pick for next, like 2 first-rounders with it also?
I mean, I would throw in like the Dallas picks. I wouldn't want to throw in the Knicks picks, but I'd throw in the Dallas picks.
Okay, here's 2 shitty picks also. Sure. Do you presume prior to the trade being made happen, the Knicks fire Mills and Minnesota hires him. So, is there any way you would not do this trade, Jay? If you're on the Knicks?
No, I would do it.
Okay. I'm presuming that Jay has real insight and there are like real sources, and this is trade that's really happening. That would be the most incredible. It would be like that trade would be like trading Dennis Smith and getting KP and Timmy Hardaway.
That's what I mean. Crazier trades have happened. I'm just. It's hard because
the Knicks don't have enough stuff to get him.
Well, that and the salaries. Like,
yeah,
the Knicks are. I mean, Towns is making $27 million, so that means you have to throw in either Morris, Portis, or Randall.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what if they said they want? Yeah. What if they said they want Randall, Mitchell Robinson, and the 2020 first round pick? Would you do that?
Yeah.
Because did you just say I don't know where it gets us, but yeah, sure, I'll do it.
You could. Well, it's the only problem with.
You also don't want. I don't think Randall necessarily plays. Towns. You're right. Towns is not. He's obviously there are issues there. They should be winning a lot more with him, and they are not.
Yeah, I mean they still have a decent team. Teague and Okogie, they got pieces. So it's weird that they're this bad.
It is a little weird, just in the sense I'm not gonna. I would do the trade in a heartbeat, but like, if you look, Dallas got Doncic. Everyone's like Doncic's really good, and you know what? Dallas wins a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
They turn it around pretty fast. Minnesota's been in the cellar every year. The Knicks have 2 less victories, and they don't have Towns.
Right. I mean, I would love Teague as a point guard right now too.
Yeah, the Knicks. You'd think they'd just have more. Towns would will them to more victories. I always kind of do find it suspect when your team, like Anthony Davis was playing. He was on the Pelicans. The Pelicans they're having issues, but like when he was playing, he got them a bunch of wins.
Yeah, I mean he got them to the playoffs a couple times.
It's pretty horrific that they're this bad. And Butler played there, and Butler was like, "This team's garbage," and I had to leave. Not that Butler's the greatest. It's just like good players come there and they're like, "This is not working."
Yeah, something's wrong. I don't know what's going on with them.
Wiggins has looked better this year, but it is a little suspect how bad they are.
The thing, if you don't trade Randall in this, how bad defensively would a Towns-Randall front line be?
Pretty goddamn bad.
Like, that's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, Towns is not great on defense.
No, he's pretty bad. Like, very bad.
He
gets
I
blocks,
haven't watched
but
enough
like,
of him, but like, it
bad.
seems like he's not a very good defender.
Yeah.
I
mean, you would just have to go all in on scorers and just try and outscore everybody because you're not stopping anybody.
Yeah, or just go in the rest of the squad at more defense. I mean, you have Ntilikina still on the team. You have if you're able to keep. Would you trade Barrett instead of Mitchell Robinson?
Yeah.
I like how you have to think about this for half a second.
I'm not attached to anybody on this team, really.
I'm attached to Mitchell Robinson. I'm sorry, I'm to RJ Barrett. You know why?
Why?
Because for the holidays, my son got an RJ Barrett jersey, and God damn it, we paid a lot of money for that. The guy has to be on the team for at least 4 years. We had the Porzingis one, had to throw that one away, and now we got the Barrett one. Which, by the way, we ordered it, and you know what they sent us?
Mm-hmm.
Not only did they get the size wrong, but they sent us a Ntilikina one,
Oof.
and we were like, "Come on, Models. We did not order a Ntilikina one. Why would anyone order a Ntilikina jersey, Models?"
They do that for everybody, just hoping that people don't take it back and they get rid of the stock because nobody's buying them for real.
I'm surprised at the store they were like, "Oh, you could just keep the Ntilikina one." Are you sure? Yeah, that was just a joke. You take this one. But even at the store, they were all like, "Oh, Ntilikina, I'm sorry about that. We really are sorry about that." Yeah, Minnesota. So, do you want to talk about the games at all?
Sure.
So did the Knicks beat the Nets, or were the Nets really just hungover for that game?
Little of A, little of B.
I don't know exactly what happened, but Brooklyn shot historically bad for the game. Didn't they set like the record for fewest field goals in a 2-point field goals in a game?
Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, they couldn't hit anything.
Yeah,
I mean, the Knicks defense wasn't that awe-inspiring. I mean, the Knicks played good defense and all that, but it wasn't like I don't know. It wasn't like the goddamn Detroit, like the bad boys from the Pistons. Like the Knicks,
yeah, it wasn't so much the Knicks being good; it was just them being bad.
it was almost the opposite of what every team against the Knicks. They're all open. Every guy who's like 1 for 75 from 3-point land in the season can't miss a 3-point shot. It's like the opposite. The Nets, who hit every shot, could not hit a single shot against the Knicks.
Yeah,
but it was still a good victory. It was nice that the Nets are a pretty good team now. I mean, they're middle of the pack team, and the Knicks beat them, so it was pretty solid. And then, you know what? The Wizards' victory wasn't exactly pretty, but Knicks ended up with more points. That's all that really matters.
look, if the Knicks can just keep beating the Nets and the Mavs, I'll be happy.
Yeah, the Knicks can beat teams 21 through 30. Those teams, they can beat those teams, play competitive against everyone else. That'd be a pretty solid step up.
Yeah.
Would you say under Mike Miller, this is basically how the season should have gone?
Yeah, yeah.
This is based on the talent they brought in.
Yeah, this is kind of what everyone was expecting from the team. I think the better Mike Miller does, the harder it's going to be for Fizz to get a job again.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to be a head coach again. I feel like you get 2 chances and you get fired in this year 2 of both chances. You're not going to be a head coach again.
You know how we were saying, look at all these players that were on the Knicks and then out of the NBA in 2 years?
Are you going to talk about the coaches that leave the Knicks also?
We might have to do that with coaches.
Well, Woodson's still an assistant coach, but no one's become a head coach. Well, not true. What's his name in Houston? D'Antoni.
Yeah, but he was the last one. No Hornacek. We probably won't see Fizdale again. Fisher.
Yeah. I mean, they've had some pretty mediocre coaches. I think Fizdale will get a job as an assistant coach somewhere because he's just like a very likable person. I think, and you want an assistant coach everyone really likes works well.
Yeah.
Like, I think he had the talents to be a good assistant coach. I mean, clearly, obviously, people liked him as an assistant coach, but
yeah, I'm just saying that's like 4 out of the last 5 coaches like just won't be head coaches again.
So why? Not a great. Well, it's also why the Knicks have so many coaches in that span. Also,
yeah, it's like 7 years worth of coaches.
I do think of the pool of coaches, I think Woodson will probably be a coach again before anyone else.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I think his reputation's gotten better,
mm-hmm.
and it's not. And even like you look back at his time in the Knicks was pretty good actually.
Yeah.
So why are the Knicks so much better under? What are they doing under Miller that they were not doing under Fizdale?
Not playing Smith.
That helps, but I mean, there was a time Smith didn't play with because Smith was out because of the death in his family for a little while.
Yeah, it seems like there's more ball movement, less ISO, which I think is definitely helping.
I mean, and that part of that obviously is Peyton being back, but
yeah, but I mean, it seems like Randall isn't holding the ball as much, and Morris isn't either. So maybe who knows if Fizdale wanted the Stars to like do that, or it was.
I know they said Miller. One of the big things is he wants guys that will attack the basket, attack the paint, and that's maybe made a big thing. That's one of the reasons that he gave Dennis Smith another chance because he liked the fact that Dennis Smith attacked the basket.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that's why Peyton has won the job because he attacks the basket a lot more. Maybe the fact that he's telling guys to attack has helped. And I mean, obviously we don't know exactly what he's been doing because you're not behind the scenes, but clearly the team just looks better.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that the young players don't really look that great.
No, but everyone looks a little more confident, a little happier. Something changed. I
mean, arguably, Ntilikina has been worse since Miller's taken over.
Yeah.
I mean, not even arguably, he has been. Knox has been potentially, his defense has been a little better lately, but generally he hasn't been very good.
Right.
Since Miller took over. Dots has been playing decent. We don't have a lot of young talent in this team.
No. All right, emails.
Okay.
Jorge writes, what would you guys give up for Cat? These rumors are getting out of hand. I personally see Steve Mills effing up the trade just to get Cat. If he gets him, he keeps his job.
Yeah. We kind of covered that, but yeah, I think he keeps his job.
Yeah, but he might just panic trade and trade everything just to get him, just to save his job. You know,
Again,
what if he
if you
does like
traded
both?
outside of draft picks, what can you trade that's really everything?
Well, what if he does like 2 Knicks picks and both Dallas picks and like a couple of the young guys, like just everything?
Both Dallas picks, Mitchell Robinson and RJ Barrett.
That's fine, but if he starts throwing in the Knicks,
Our two guys we're building around right now.
I don't even care anymore. Jonathan writes, so Randall apparently is very good. Does this tell us that Fizdale was that bad or what?
Yeah. Randall's looking yeah. Fizdale could not get anything. He could not get the most out of their best player.
Yeah. I mean, Randall looks like a different player now.
His numbers still on the season, like I have to see that. I'm going to look for the splits because, like, overall, his shooting percentage is like 45% for the year, which is not great. And 3-point shooting, it's 29%, which is pretty bad, also.
Yeah.
But I think his splits probably look a lot better. I'm going to flip them up real quick.
Yeah, if you look up before and after Fizdale, it's completely different.
Did you find before and after Fizdale?
I mean, if you just looked at the last, 9 games.
When did Fizdale get fired?
11 games ago.
Okay, so sometime in December, like the numbers for December, his 3-point shooting is still not amazing. It's 31% this month, but it's inching up. He had that horrible start of the year where he basically couldn't hit a 3-pointer to start the season.
Yeah.
His shooting percentage could get better, but he's also scoring a lot more. His assist numbers are actually down. Partly because I think the team he's not trying to like run the offense anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you have Peyton that's doing more distributing. So
I have a question. On a given night, if you said one of these guys is going to be who would you, if you had to make a bet, who's going to be our best player that night? Would you bet for Randall or bet for Morris?
Randall.
I don't know. I think Morris overall, if Morris was 25, I would take Morris over Randall in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah, but he's not. I understand that. I'm just saying I think Morris still is the better player of the two. I don't know. Randall's been really good lately. I'm pretty excited about how well he's playing lately.
Playing back-to-back 30-point games.
Back to back, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
You know who the last Knicks player to do that was?
Amari?
No, much more recent. Timmy Hardaway.
Oh, good.
Last season.
Wow.
Wasn't that long ago.
All right.
It also makes you think, oh, look at me, I shouldn't be so excited by his last 3 games.
Right.
But Randall's been looking a lot better. I don't really know where the team goes from here.
I don't either. It's a weird. Now they're winning enough where I'm like starting to get worried about what the draft pick is going to look like. I see some people saying they're only 5 games out of the playoffs. I say stop that.
You got to figure out a direction somewhere. I don't know. I mean, all these guys aren't that like old either. Elfrid Payton. I just don't think Elfrid Payton is Elfrid Payton is not that great. He's just like he looks like a league average point guard, which is a huge step up for this team.
Yeah.
But how does this team ever like go from like bad to mediocre to actually being really, really good?
Well, that's why I don't want to trade draft picks. You need to draft a couple guys that really, really work out.
I'm hoping that Mike Miller is. We're only seeing the beginning of Mike Miller. Hopefully, he's actually a really good coach and gets more out of his players than. You're
still going to need a couple guys in the draft.
If they can develop players, I know that'd be like an insane thing to ask, but the Knicks actually can develop players. That'd be huge.
Yeah. Facebook questions.
Oh, I didn't post on Facebook about questions, so cool. We don't have any.
All right. nyknickspodcast@gmail.com. nyknickspodcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. The New York Knicks podcast.com is our website.
What did we learn tonight?
We learned that Mike Miller is a much, much better coach than Fizdale.
It could go either direction from here, but we learned that the Knicks, based on the last 2 games they've played, are the best team in the NBA.
We also learned that we could probably calm down about the Towns rumors because it'd be very, very hard to pull off a trade.
We should never discuss Towns being a Knick again because it will never freaking happen.
Yeah, we did it just because a bunch of people were talking about it and figured we should mention it, but I don't see it ever happening. I would say I don't want them to gut the team, but there's nothing to gut.
Do you think the Mike Miller effect is in some ways because they've had the opponents have not been as good lately? Are we overstating how good Mike Miller is?
Maybe a little. I mean, when the Knicks do play good teams, they get absolutely blown out of the water.
I mean, they got crushed 2 games. There were 2 blowouts with Mike Miller as a coach.
Yeah. I mean, but to at least be competitive against bad teams is what we expected. So it's still a step in the right direction. It's just, I think we could probably calm down a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to watch competitive basketball where the Knicks at the end of the game actually have more points than their opponent.
I mean, at least they're not a laughing stock now.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, the Knicks are going to have to find talent, not just like. I don't think the tanking thing's going to work out right now. The Knicks need to figure out some other path to being really good. Who the hell knows? Let me ask you: 3 games on next show. Trailblazers on Wednesday, then the Suns, and then the Clippers. What's going to happen?
1 and 2.
I'm going to guess you're going to say a win against the Suns.
I'm going to say win against the Blazers.
Ooh.
I just feel like the Knicks have been beating all the teams and or ex-players, so they might go hard against Melo.
Oh, that would be a heck of a game to win.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, though. It's
I mean, they're all tough. Phoenix is no joke this year either.
No, Phoenix is pretty good. I'm just thinking about the guard play. If Ntilikina can be the good Ntilikina and play and actually play pretty solid defense against Lillard, that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That would make a big difference. I'm going to say 2 and 1. They're going to beat the Trailblazers and the Suns.
Okay.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Anything else, Jay?
That is it. Thanks for listening. We will see you all in 2020.
Yes, where the Knicks will be the best team in the NBA.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure. By 2037.
By 2037.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
My love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. You better go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say.